Before we start this video, I want to give a big shout out to my KOG members of the month, Blue Cat and Run2127. You guys are awesome, just saying. If you want your name here, consider hitting that join button for exclusive channel benefits. How's it going, guys? RNG Life here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the best cards in Photon of Galaxy, the new mini box that's coming on the last day of January. So one thing before the whole talking about the box, I'm actually pretty glad that Konami, I'm assuming they're like taking our voices into consideration, where they were kind of rushing out boxes every like 2 or 3 weeks. This time they legit waited a full month. Even though they revealed it like 5 days early, they're like, nah, dude, we're not gonna do this to them. We're not gonna reveal it early. We're not gonna release it early. We're gonna actually give them a full month to make up their money. So cool, man. I mean, that's a nice thing of Konami. And before next box comes out in like a week or two. But yeah, Photon of Galaxy, as you guys can probably tell, it's got your favorite, the Photon Galaxy big boy, your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Now, if you guys are a fan of the anime or just generally a fan of this deck, obviously you're going to be going into this. Now, if you're not a big fan of it, and then you're on the fence, you're like, should I go into this box? Let me clarify some stuff for you. I'm gonna give you some answers, look over some cards, tell you what cards are good, and maybe then I can help you guys decide whether you want to go into Photon of Galaxy. So let's go ahead and get things started. First things first, we are looking at Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This is the main flagship monster of the box. Big UR boy. Now, we are getting Kite. We're gonna unlock him, and he's not gonna come with this card. Yes, he might have a skill that can let us use this, like most characters do that. They give us a skill that gives us a free-to-play way to play the deck, but that's kind of still pretty bad. But at least it's attainable by a skill. But of course, Konami, they have to lock off these cards behind a paywall, because that's just what they do. Let's read this card so you guys can find out what he does. It says, you can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 2 monsters with 2,000 attack or more, basically. So it's not too difficult to summon if you are playing a deck made for him that special summons 2,000 attack monsters pretty easily, or special summoning like what is it, the tokens, the 2,000 attack tokens. I don't know if we're gonna have that, but he's not too hard to summon in his own deck. So, cool. During either player's battle step, when this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target the monster this card is battling, banish both opponent's monster and this card, and at the end of the battle phase, return any monsters banished by this effect to the field. If your opponent's monster was an Xyz monster, this card gains 500 attack and defense for each Xyz material it had when it was banished. So, that is a really good ability. It's actually pretty crazy. It's basically battle proof, because he's just sitting on the field. He cannot be attacked because it says if he battles, so if you attack into him, if he attacks into you, it doesn't matter. This guy has the ability to basically say, nah bro, we're tagging out right now, basically stopping that one attack, leaving you potentially open for a second hit though. But maybe that's where you can potentially run some drowning Mirror Force or something stupid. But I don't know, dude, I just love drowning. I love drowning and how it changes the game. It won't completely mess them up, because they're still gonna have one monster at the end, the monster that came back. But if it was an Xyz monster, it's screwed, because this guy's gonna come back at like maybe, I don't know, 4,000 attack or so. So maybe 35, 4,000. He's made to be huge. So Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is one of the main reasons you're going to be going into this box, because this is all support for him, support for Kite. Kite's going to have a bunch of skills, a bunch of stuff that supports this guy. So yeah, this should be 70 or 80% of you deciding, do I want to go into this box? Do I want to play Kite? Do I want to play Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon? Yes, no. And this should be your answer right here. But if that's not enough to sway you, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest. Next up, we got Abyss Dweller, a generally pretty good lockout kind of card. Abyss Dweller has been not really a staple, but I've seen it used in a lot of older school Xyz decks and TCG. A lot of people are using it because it has a pretty decent ability. It says it just needs 2 level 4 monsters. It's rank 4 Xyz, so it's really easy to summon. It says, while this card has an Xyz material attached to it that was originally water, all water monsters you control gain 500 attack. Normally you don't use that effect. Normally you don't need it, but it's a nice bonus. It's a nice way to make this guy from 1700 to a 2200, including all your water monsters. Then it really does help. So that's pretty cool if you're gonna go for the first ability, but people mainly use it for the second ability that says once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card. Any card effects that activate in your opponent's grave cannot be activated this turn. So that could be really, really good to basically shut down those little White Stone of Legends and stuff like that activates in the grave. Any deck that basically uses the grave completely locks them out. Possibly Witchcrafter, all them, like all that kind of stuff. It's really good. It feels kind of like a Necro Valley kind of, but in its own way. So it is a really good, just generic control card. I think it's pretty good. Photon Thrasher. This card is here for a reason. He is here as support for Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. He's also just a generally really good card. If you guys thought Cyber Dragon was good, this guy was actually pretty cool because it says, cannot be normal summoner set, must first be special summoned from your hand while you control no monsters. If you control another monster, this card cannot attack. Normally, you don't care because if you're going to be using him in the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon deck, you special summon this guy, normal summon another 2000 beater of some kind. He is a photon after all, so you would get a lot of effects off of the other photon monsters. So you would get a special summon or something. Bam, easy two monsters with 2k attack. So there's one way to get your big boy out. Also, if you're running them in just another generic deck, he's pretty good, like in something like maybe Monarchs, because you special summon him, then tribute him, summon a Monarch first turn, bam, start doing stuff. Pretty good. I mean, maybe second turn because you're going to be popping stuff, messing with your opponent's stuff, usually. But yeah, that's where this guy would be pretty good. He's generally good for those kind of plays. But yeah, I think he's a really good, like, actual utility-based card, and he's pretty good. Now, those were the URs. Now we're looking at the SRs, and Photon Strike Bouncer is a great way to start this because this guy is one of my favorite rank 6 Xyz. I think this is the best rank 6 Xyz in my opinion, or at least from the ones that I used back in the day. Dude, Bouncer is such a good card. He's so cool. He's got a nice stat line. He's 2700 attack. You need 2 level 6 monsters, so if you have a deck that can actually go into 6s, like Heretics, I think they do that, I believe. I know because I think my friend would use this in his Heretic deck and stuff like that, or Heretics. I don't know how you say it. But yeah, dude, this guy's really good. It says once per turn during either player's turn, so it's a quick effect, so it already makes it way better. When a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you can detach a material, negate it, and burn them for 500, not 1,000, but 500. So it's really, really good because it's like an extra insult to injury because it's like your opponent's going to activate an effect, and you're like, nah, negated and burned. So it's a really cool card, aside from the fact that he's huge. 2700 beater, it's really, really good. I actually really like this card. Ghost Trick Alucard. Now, Ghost Trick Alucard is the pretty much main boss monster for Ghost Tricks. So this is another big thing. Like, if you guys are into Ghost Tricks, if you love Floodgate Chan, then you might be going in, at least for this one SR. You might need him at multiple, though, because he's just that good. So, Ghost Trick Alucard is like one of the perfect just control cards for Ghost Tricks. If you can get this guy out, ooh, it really helps out your deck. It says, you need 2 level 3 monsters, so he's pretty easy to summon. Ghost Tricks, I mean, maybe, I don't, actually, it's been a while since I've seen Ghost Tricks. I don't remember if we have all the support that lets him actually get 2 level 3 monsters. If not, then we'll have the slow way where you set one, stop it from being attacked, next turn set it, or normal summon or whatever, and then you just overlay. So, cool. Alucard is pretty good, though. It says monster opponent controls cannot target face-up Ghost Trick monsters or any face-down defense position monsters for attacks except this one. You can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, target 1 set card your opponent controls, and destroy that thing. So pretty good for just stopping monsters, back row, stuff like that. Also, with Ghost Tricks, obviously you have a lot of support that pretty much turns everything face down and face-down support. So he's really, really good. But he does need to detach, so you're going to be using that effect probably twice. But it's not it. That's not the peak of it. It also says you can only use the effect of this guy once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other Ghost Trick card in the grave. Add that target to your hand. So it's really, really good for recycling other stuff because obviously by the time he hits the grave, you're going to have at least 2 other Ghost Tricks that were detached from him in the grave that he can pretty much add back to your hand. This guy is really, really good to just stall out your opponent. Also, Ghost Tricks are really, really obnoxious and annoying. They can flip, mess with your opponent's stuff, put it face down, do whatever. It would have been nice to get this around Halloween, but alright, screw you then, Konami. Steel Swarm Roach. Steel Swarm Roach is a classic card. This card is old, and I remember this one because it's kind of like before Evil Swarms. I think this becomes Exciton Knight, I believe, but yeah. Steel Swarm Roach is a pretty easy to summon card. It's just 2 level 4 monsters, saying during either player's turn, when a level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, detach a material from this card, negate the special summon, and if you do, destroy it. Now, I know there's like weird conditions and stuff about what he can actually negate. I know it's like when a level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, so I don't remember how this whole like ruling works with him. But he's a bit tricky, if I remember correctly. But he's really, really good against decks that use big monsters. For example, you're fighting Blue Eyes. They're like, oh, let me activate this effect, summon a Blue Eyes. Steel Swarm Roach sitting on the field is basically able to say no, negate, possibly. Once again, I have to say that because it's been a while, and I remember this guy was a bit tricky with his effects. There are certain things he can negate, certain things he can't, because, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! And its rulings. But, yeah, Steel Swarm Roach, pretty cool card. He's not one of my favorites. I don't really like this card that much because of the fact that he's, like, kind of weird, but maybe in Duel Links he'll be amazing. You never know. In the lockdown deck, dude, oh, that could be kind of crazy. But they can still use level 4s and stuff and Xyz, so he doesn't stop everything. Number 70, Malevolent Sin. Now, this is a big spider. I've actually never seen this card before. This guy just needs 2 level 4s, so he's actually generic, really easy to summon. Now, is this effect good, though? We're going to have to read it and see if that's the case. It says, once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 monster your opponent controls, banish it until your opponent's next standby phase. At the end of the damage step, if this card is attacked, it's just if it battles, not if it's getting attacked. You can make this card gain 300 attack, and if you do, increase its rank by 3. Now, I think that's a permanent ability. So, attack becomes 27, attack again become 3,000, so on and so forth. So that could be pretty good. So I don't know, maybe that can make him pretty alright. I do like his little ability that says you can detach a material and target one monster your opponent controls, banish it until your opponent's next standby phase. That could be really, really good for getting over just any generic just problem monster, and so you can attack directly or whatever. So yeah, all it needs to do is attack, by the way, so that's still pretty cool. And he raises his rank. I don't know what benefit there is to that, but it's a pretty cool card. I mean, if you want to run some generic level 4s, here you go for all you rank 4 Xyz spam boys. Photon Lizard is another card we're looking at. This card is more photon support. I think it's alright. I think it's good for like setting up your combos and doing what you want. Maybe in Duel Links it's going to be one of those cards that you must run, but I don't know. I haven't played Photons in like a few years. So, but it's a pretty good card that you normal summon it. It says you contribute this card, add 1 level 4 or lower Photon monster from your deck to your hand, and you can only use this effect once per turn. So basically, normal summon, search. You basically are going to search your big boy over here, where is he, Photon Thrasher or something like that. Your field is empty, so you can special summon, and now you can do more stuff. Maybe special summon monsters because you have photons. I mean, you can already special summon when you have your Photon Lizard on the field, so, I mean, he's an okay card. Is he like, amazing for the deck? I would say it's good to set up your combo, so maybe that could be why he's good, but I don't know. Now, talking about some good Photon support is Photon Vanisher. This card is actually amazing. This card is really, really good. I think this is some of the newer Photon support, just kind of like how Yuma has been getting some new Dororo, Gaga, whatever support. This your boy Kite got this card, and he's looking pretty good. So basically says cannot be normal summoner set, must first be special summoned from your hand while you control a Photon or Galaxy monster. So that's a way to get them out. So like I said, it benefits a lot when you can summon a Photon, get a Photon on the field, bam, free special summon, just summon all your boys. And this guy is cool. You can get him out. It cannot attack the turn with special summon, so you cannot use him to go aggro and completely beat down a rank 4 beatdown deck, so rip. But maybe you don't need him for that, because it says you can only special summon this guy once per turn. This card is special summon. You can add 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand. So right off the bat, when you summon this guy, you're adding Galaxy Eyes, which is going to add super consistency to the deck. because if you have Thrasher, then you summon Vanisher, he adds Galaxy Eyes gets summoned. That was a first turn Galaxy Eyes, so it's pretty nice. By the way, it also has a follow-up effect if you're going to be using them as an Xyz material. An Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field as a material gains this effect. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card, which is a really good ability. It is like a really strong ability, so not a bad thing to have and to give, and it's generally a really good card. I really like this guy. I want to run him at 3. So yeah, Vanisher is amazing. My PC is frozen. Alright, the next card we're looking at is another support for one of the pro tags from Zexal. We got Gaga Head. Now, this guy is head for a reason. He's really good. Actually, this guy is kind of insane. Now, the only drawback is him being a level 6, but it doesn't really matter because he is basically kind of like a Cyber Dragon. So, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing as a level 4 monster. When this card is normal summoned, you can target up to 2 Gaga monsters in your graveyard except himself. Special summon them. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of his turn except Xyz summon using only Gagagas. So you basically special, bring back 1 or 2 Gaga monsters, overlay for 3 potentially. It's kind of wild. This guy's pretty good. And on top of that, an Xyz monster that is summoned using this guy as a material and get a free draw. Gaga Head is kind of insane, dude. He's really cool. I really like this guy. Only downside is he's a pretty much going second card, but with the Yuma skill, I don't think that matters because you can just infinite consistency with this skill. So this card is amazing. It's really good. We're not even done yet because we have, I think, 1 more, and it's another one of these support cards. It is this guy right here, Dwarf Gogo Glove. Another card that's kind of insane for this deck, dude. These cards are really good. One, because if you guys, this guy's a Gaga, this guy is a Dododo and a Go. So it's so good when they have multiple names, so he becomes whatever, a Dododo or a Go. Therefore, it's just so much easier to go into them. So it says, during your main phase, you can special summon 1 Zubaba or Gaga monster from your hand, period. So normal summon this guy, special summon another one, overlay, immediate overlay with 2 cards, really easy, really good card. It says, if you control a Go or Dododo monster except himself, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon him back on the field and banish it when it leaves the field, and you can only use this effect once per turn. So yeah, dude, that's a really good card, really good for extending plays and something like that. So yeah, dude, this card is kind of insane. It's really good, and I think it's gonna give so much power to the Onomatopoeia deck. It's gonna be pretty wild. And we are reaching the end. Not done, but we're going over some final cards. United We Stand. It's a pretty standard card, to be honest. There's not much to talk about this one. It's a pretty good cheese card. It's just, you give it to a monster, it equip monster gains 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control. It's, if you're gonna be swarming the board, you give your monster this equip. Oh, he just became really huge. So that's pretty much it. It's a meme card. Equips don't really do much nowadays, but it's still a pretty fun card. I think it was a selection box card before, so you might, I think we already have this card, so here you go. If you want this card, this is how you get it. And last but not least, we got Hammer Shot. Now this card was kind of hyped up for a while because it's ability that says destroy 1 face-up attack position monster that has the highest attack. If it's a tie, you get to choose. Now, why is that good? I think it's because it doesn't target. It just straight up says, oh, whatever's biggest on the field is dead. So it's kind of interesting. I like it for that because it's just non-targeting removal, I believe, because it just hits whatever's the biggest. So it doesn't say target the largest monster. Nah, dude, it just whatever's in the way. It's like Dark Hole, but for only the biggest monsters. So that's why I think Hammer Shot is a pretty cool card. But yeah, aside from that, Hammer Shot, looking alright. It's pretty good to get you out of a dangerous situation. Just non-targeting removal of something large, and then you can try popping off. But that is pretty much all the SRs and URs in this box. I've already kind of gone a bit over on a lot of these cards because I have a lot to say about some of them. Let me know if you guys are going to be going into this box and what was the card that convinced you. For me particularly, I mean, I just like that Photon Dragon. He's a really cool boss monster, and I just like him. Of course, Bouncer, one of my favorite, one of my boys, dude. He's really good as a monster to go into. I mean, these guys, if I can pull them, the support for Yuma, they're really good. They can probably make his deck just insanely strong. Of course, I mean, you're just gonna have general support for Galaxy Eyes or general support for Onomatopoeia. So yeah, I think that's what pretty much is selling this box on me. Of course, you get some nice little extras, like your boy Ghost Trick Alucard with some of his Ghost Trick stuff. So that's pretty cool as well. I mean, it's out of nowhere, Ghost Trick getting support. Like I said, I would have liked to see that on Halloween, but they're like, nah. I think at that time we didn't even have Xyz yet, so it makes sense, but it would have been a pretty cool time to give us Xyz. It would have been really hype for Alucard, but I don't know, it might have been annoying because this guy's like such a annoying lockout card. But whatever, that's pretty much it for today. Let me know what you guys think. I'm actually really excited to know what you guys are into. Also, it helps for when we do the stream, we can potentially find out what to play first. But whatever, that's pretty much that. And if you guys enjoyed, go and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Duel Link shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you guys.